The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Jasmine Irojak.
And I'm Tracy Pad. Join me later for sports.
In this edition, Madang settlement residents make way for development, key fisheries projects launched in Simbu province, and Double Warriors girls secure a spot in grand final.
Leaders from the squatter settlements in wards 5 and 8 of Madang urban local level government area have pledged their support for the new 4-lane road project from Madang Airport to Nabasa Street. The leaders from DCA and GovStore settlements that would be affected by this major road project unanimously agreed for the work to progress smoothly and gave assurance not to disturb the project. The settlers made their position known during a meeting over the weekend organized by the governor for Madang Province, Ramzi Pariwa.
The 40 million 4-lane road project is a national government-funded project and is being built by China Railway Engineering Group. The project starts near the Madang Airport and would cut across Kerama Compound and GovStore settlements. This development will see a number of structures currently sitting on the path of development removed. Madang Governor Ramzi Pariwa took time to explain to the settlement leaders that the 4-lane road project is under the jurisdiction of the national government. However, as a provincial leader, he said he would pay some form of compensation to a number of settlers whose structures would be demolished, including their crops. Mr. Pariwa at the meeting acknowledged the original Sepik settlers for their contributions. Some today are living in their 3rd to 4th generation and have helped in the development of Madang province. One of Madang's prominent Sepik elites, Dr. Sam Thomas, who is also the CEO of Madang Provincial Health Authority and has a permanent house along the path of development, agreed that road works should proceed as it is a positive sign of development to make Madang a modern town. Madang Lands Director, Mr. Irara, and his officers have been tasked to work with Works Department, civil engineers along with volunteers from the settlements affected to conduct evaluation and costings of structures and plants that would be demolished during the road project for compensation. Madang Urban Local Level Government Ward 8 Councillor Saunda Bui was also appreciative of the meeting, which gauged views from the settlement leaders where the 4-lane road project would run through.
And by making sense from Madang, all settlement but before like Nami Platok, GovStore staff, Mosor staff, Line staff, Sisak Wanda, these are original settlements. And Woklo Yumi for leaders na government but today no Madang. Was sensim color from Madang na. Tayo ni sensim was spreading settlement or man kisim block and by looking development and service by camp. Or man can sit on the block, cutting down law and order.
Madang PPC Robert Byrne was also grateful for the meeting, which saw the settlers meet with government officials to pave way for development. He elaborated that such meetings are important as they iron out issues which would potentially create a law and order situation. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
NCD Governor Paul Sparkop is calling on the government to find social and economic solutions to the many hold-ups and petty crimes in the city. Governor Pakop, in a press statement, said the hold-ups and petty crimes are becoming weekly happenings in the city, and the government, both at the national and subnational levels, must find social and economic solutions that will stop young people from drifting to crime, especially hold-ups. He highlighted these interventions while commenting on the tragic killings at the Tokarara suburb in Port Moresby Monday. Pakop also called for an urgent need for a permanent appointment of NCD and Central Police Commander and immediate release of funding for the proposed CCTV project in the city. Papua New Guinea and China's partnership continued to thrive, with bilateral trade between the two countries growing. Prime Minister James Marape acknowledged this partnership while commemorating the National Day of People's Republic of China.
To mark the National Day of the People's Republic of China, Prime Minister James Marape said the day serves as a reminder of the strong ties between the two nations and the spirit of cooperation that has marked relationship for decades. He said as China remains our largest export market, it is clear that our economic relationship is one of the mutual benefit and immense potential. In 2023, according to the United Nations Comtrade database, Papua New Guinea exports to China totaled 12 billion kina. This has been driven by strong exports of liquefied natural gas, timber, coffee, cocoa, and fisheries products, contributing to a trade surplus in PNG's favor. The Prime Minister further stated that the Bank of PNG is exploring the potential of adopting the Chinese renminbi as an alternative currency to the US dollar, reflecting the deepening economic ties and growing trade between China and PNG. He says this move could further solidify bilateral relations, fostering greater financial cooperation and enhancing the ease of trade between our two nations. Beyond trade, China's role in PNG's development is visible across sectors from infrastructure to energy and agriculture. The two nations have recently signed 5 memorandum of understanding to deepen cooperation in areas such as ICT, agriculture, and disaster relief, further highlighting China's commitment to supporting our growth. Marape also highlighted that a total of 54 Papua New Guinea's brightest young students under the government's Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics or STEM program will be traveling to China to pursue higher education in leading Chinese universities. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The Nakanai District Development Authority has made it a priority to partner with churches in the district to address the challenges the district is going through. To support this agenda, local MP and Minister for Oil Palm Francis Gailia Maneke presented checks worth of 100,000 kina to various churches in the East Nakanai local level government area over the weekend.
With churches being priority partners in the development of the newly established Nakanai district, local MP and Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke again acknowledged this partnership to drive the developmental aspiration for the new district, presenting a check of 50,000 kina to Mata Ururu United Church on Sunday. Maneke encouraged the people to always put God first in everything they do. He said without God, Nakanai district cannot progress in terms of its development aspirations.
Nakanai district where important lo yumi okata people man Mary inside lo Nakanai district. Lo sana one time na support him this plan district lo yumi. Woblo lo tu emi stop lo house dua. You must make him so emi must stop na ba you can mobilize him. All get all line lo yumi lo community. All mama mobilize him all youth all get online. O kita bung inside lo place now, but you can support him all, push him all, work lo.
Maneke said churches plays a very important role in the society, and without them, there would be many social problems. Hence, the partnership is very important. Maneke also presented another check of 50,000 kina to churches at Evase village. President of the East Nakanai Local Level Government, James Lawler, thanked Minister Maneke for his contributions and committed to support him in driving the partnership agenda with the churches. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Meantime, Acting Chief Executive Officer for Nakanai, Jeffrey Osa, acknowledged the partnership with the churches and urged the people in the district to work together with the church to achieve the development plans of the district.
You got problem and they come down. You don't need a man whereby you make a problem and stop long way. This is a kind of man you looking. This is top 10 people because no you looking saber character long and got. This is a passing big man give me got. Now you me appoint me come. This is how to today and by giving Salvin. Papa Blongani no come to me group. Office from me plan. I'm true no discipline, true no look plan. I'm run or sell a road and I'm looking. This house no two. Before yet, I'm run go come looking to house no two. I'm same yet. And one can yet. When I'm time by house no two by Senis. I'm leadership. I'm leadership. Or people blame me Mataro. That's the leadership. You mean like him no leadership blame me? I mean, this are leadership. I'm still remember. I'm run that's all I'm look now. You mean by the Marium church. I'm like him church and my Chinese so that all young people, all youths, all people blame me no place. Come now, too. Now by down you all play order.
Today marks the first day of the Digital Transformation Summit 2024 with the theme Navigating Digital Transformation Towards 50 Years and Beyond, Collaborative Governance and Innovation. The summit is designed to ensure collaboration, governance, and innovation through strategic initiatives aimed at modernizing public service delivery. Its focus is on technology-driven solutions for the advancement of PNG in the ITC space. The three-day Digital Transformation Summit 2024 began today with the opening remarks from the Department of Information and Communication Technology Secretary, Stephen Matainaho, as well as Minister for ICT, Timothy Masiu. Masiu highlighted the ministry's focus in the last 3 years, which has been on creating and enabling policy and regulatory environment, as well as strengthening the institutions that are responsible for driving ICT and digital transformation. These are the preliminary requirements for use to advance further with digital transformation. Government leaders, digital experts, and key stakeholders were present, sharing ideas to shape the future of PNG's digital trajectory as the nation approaches 50 years of independence. What was intriguing was DICT's new and improved digital services for the general public. One that captured the eyes of many was the e-government portal. DICT software developer Jesse Biribudo shared the lessons learned after the government portal version 1.
I guess the real lesson here is that there's actually a demand for this. So there's people who are really hungry for digital services. A lesson probably for our stakeholders, if you are digitizing your service, to be prepared to hit the ground running. Have your workstations set up, have internet connectivity, have your staff trained. If you are thinking of digitizing your service, especially for government, or maybe everyone, we would recommend forming a team of dedicated team members, comprising maybe a DTO, maybe it's nominee, and the people in this process that's being digitized. So this will enable us to have quick feedback.
DICT Chief Developer Samson Korawali also gave an update on several products and the increase in digital services by DICT to assist the general public in more easy and efficient way.
What we wanted to achieve in version 2 was building on that initial police clearance portal that you saw in version 1, but making sure that we had built a platform that was comprehensive, that had more services with even ID attached to it, and to allow for the citizens to access services online, so you don't have to go and stand in line and pay for a service and then wait for correspondence on whether you're going to get.
Towards the end of the summit, Prime Minister James Marape will be launching the country's first ever Citizens e-Government portal, which will be a significant milestone in PNG's digital journey.
This is TVWAN News. No proper handovers at RPNGC, inquiry told, and key fisheries projects launched in Simbu Province. Those stories and more when we return.
Digicel Business. We help grow your business with secure, reliable and cost-effective ICT solutions. We will manage your technology so you can power your vision for your business with the best solutions to offer. Accelerate your business growth with Digicel Business Cloud Solutions with cloud platform services, disaster recovery as a service and backup as a service. Talk to our cloud solutions experts today. Digicel Business. Better solutions for better business.
Welcome to Backyard!
Want more entertainment in your life?
What a cry, baby.
TVWAN Plus has all your favorite drama to keep you entertained.
Time to give Mama all the kisses.
Perfect!
No! Please don't kill me!
Get TVWAN Plus in the 20-channel prepaid pack and watch all your favorite drama non-stop. Watch TVWAN Plus and 19 more great channels for your viewing pleasure.
So many have tried.
Rockin' with America.
Subscribe to TVWAN Plus now on the 20-channel digital prepaid pack 1, 7, 14 or 30 and enjoy 20 channels of world-class entertainment.
And business blow me Carlos because me Mary blew you.
Thank you, princess.
How do I look today?
Dial star 515 hash to subscribe now. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
A month-long roller coaster ride starts now. This club is used to the pressure cooker of finals football. They expect to be on the biggest stage. Minutes away from a grand final appearance in September.
This Ghostober,
I'm travelling to the Australian island of Tasmania.
Jack Osborne's digging into his past.
These are the convicts sent to build Australia. We have an Osborne in the penitentiary.
That's wild.
Stepping into the dark.
Paranormal activity here is legendary. Wow, a lot of people see an executioner.
Okay, there's a man in there. He's ready to believe.
I don't know if I've had an experience like this. Oh my God.
Jack Osborne's Buried Bloodlines starts Friday 10:25 on TLC.
Welcome back. A senior police officer has called for more highway patrol stations to be built along the proposed areas of the Connect PNG program. Acting Director of Highway Patrol, Senior Inspector Philip Koliadi, said that currently there are no highway patrol stations established on most of the highways in the country. He said in line with the Connect PNG program, it is important to have an established highway patrol stations to protect these roads. Kolida raised concerns that drug smuggling and human trafficking are common crimes along the highways, and having more police presence is very important. The stations will enable highway patrol officers to conduct road safety awareness also to the communities. Proper handover and takeover of positions in the police force are slowly fading, as many take over positions without officially handing over to the next officer. Director of Community Policing, Chief Superintendent Sibron Papoto, raised this concern while testifying at the Commission of Inquiry into RPNGC recently.
The Director for Community Policing, Chief Superintendent Sibron Papoto, a victim of this issue, said he took over from the current position by force as there was no proper takeover from the former director. He said takeover is significant because the incoming person must be briefed on the operations of the command to be better prepared to carry on the responsibility. However, in his case, this was not done.
Takeover done properly between me and the outgoing
officer who was before me, who had retired. So
he was also on an inspector level?
He was a chief superintendent, director of community policing, and he didn't hand over the key and all other vehicles and said, so he took up. I had to wait until I had to break in the office and then change the lock and move in. So I just started off from scratch.
He said a proper handover takeover parade is a tradition in the force where all staff are present to welcome the incoming and farewell the outgoing, and has to be documented in a report. Papato clarified that few senior officers conducted proper handover takeover. However, others do not follow the normal process.
Person in PPC or director must know about operations of the division or command. And he has to be aware how many resources, manpower, activities, the continuation of any programs. Yeah. So that we either continue or come up with, so we know where the directorate is.
Meanwhile, CEO Commissioner Justice Elines Batari said this is not the first time he has heard of the lack of formalities in the handover and takeover of command. Batari said this shows that command and control in the force is losing its integrity and something must be done about it.
Paints a bit of disorganized.
Yes.
Disorganized, doesn't it? It paints a bit of disorganized deployments, arrangements within the hierarchy of the police.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Meantime, Papato recommended that the media sector of the RPNGC should be placed under the direction of community policing to help disseminate community policing information to the public. Papato said much of the awareness conducted by community policing often does not reach the masses, resulting in the increase of petty crimes in the community. Currently, the Media Directorate reports to the Police Commission.
You know, a lot of activities that we conduct, like we need to get this message across to the general public. So media has to be a unit within the community policing. So whenever we conduct those programs, you know, it must be transmitted through the media networks.
Milne Bay tourism stakeholders have committed to addressing security concerns after recent incidents involving cruise ship tourists in the region. This assurance was given to Carnival Cruises during World Tourism Day, following a two-day consultation with the cruise line's security advisor, Mike Wilson. Tour operators including Kiriwina-based Giyobu, Tosieru, and Alotau's Jonathan Sowelu emphasized the need for local stakeholders to take full ownership of security to prevent future incidents. Milne Bay Tourism Bureau Manager Modakula Kuniyobu and Board Chairman Jack Purai echoed these calls, stressing the importance of collaboration among tourism operators. Carnival Cruises, which operates P&O cruise ships that visit Alotau, Trobriand, and Conflict Islands, welcomed the commitment, noting that improved security is essential for the continued arrival of cruise ships to Papua New Guinea. In Chimbu Province, Peter Super, founder of Elim Fish Farm, stands as a testament to resilience, vision, and the determination to foster sustainable livelihoods. Peter's journey began many years ago, armed with little more than a dream to transform the local economy and promote food security through aquaculture. Starting with only 300 kina in 2018 to become a fish farmer, aside from being a chemist for a mining company. Today, the National Fisheries Authority launched the opening of Elim Fish Farm and Hatchery.
And then the project, in one way or the other, it can help support the people back in the village. And the whole purpose for me to choose fish farm was that it is a good protein for the people, and I choose tilapia farming. So it is a cheap protein, and it grows really fast, and it is affordable.
In a significant day for Simbu Province, several key fisheries projects were officially launched by the National Fisheries Authority. Supported by the Simbu provincial government, these initiatives aim to boost local aquaculture, enhance fish farming, and promote sustainable economic growth.
Simbu province celebrated a major milestone with the launch of key fisheries projects, including the Provincial Inland Fisheries Resource Center, Elim Fish Farm Hatchery, and Simbu Aqua Fish Feed Mill, all aimed at bolstering local fish farming initiatives.
Prospect of fisheries is massive and people are straight. But we work one time and full potential of fisheries lo Simbu.
During the launch, 100,000 kina was presented to Elim Fish Farm and Hatchery and 677,000 kina to the Simbu Aqua Fish Feed Mill. Simbu Governor Noah Cool, a long-time advocate of fish farming, highlighted the importance of these initiatives in improving food security and providing economic opportunities for the people of Simbu. Apart from Simbu province, NFA also committed 1 million kina towards building accommodation for provincial fisheries and DEL offices in Goroka, Eastern Islands Province. This project will enhance staff welfare and improve support for local fish farming initiatives. Additionally, another 1 million kina was allocated for renovating and upgrading the provincial fisheries office.
So people are like, inside the NFA, people can't funding this food mill project, but them fish farm now, or fisheries resource center. I'm not now to sell this year, but every year bumper growing. But we need more people to Simbu. Thinking now of business, the future. Trout farming is the future of Simbu.
These investments in Eastern Islands are part of a broader memorandum of understanding between NFA and the Eastern Islands provincial government for 2024 to 2027. Other key projects include the construction of a fish processing facility, commercialization of farms, capacity building, and the rehabilitation of fish farming at Yonki Dam. NFA is also investing in education, funding a new double-story classroom at Gotomi Primary School, and supporting a community fish farm in Lagayu with 100,000 kina for fish feed. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
And we apologize as we are not able to bring you the market report as it was not provided to us. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we bring you news from abroad. Stay with us.
Gimme 5! Cell Money brings to you this great offer from Digicel. 5 GB, 5 days for 5 kina. Visit a Digicel store or Cell Money agent. Put money in your Cell Money wallet and dial *888 to buy today.
Did you know that you can get the latest updates on what's happening on the DTV app? 1. Open the DTV app. 2. Go to the profile on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and scroll down to push notifications. 3. Turn it on and you're good to receive notifications on the latest sports, TV series, and movies. DTV, your TV on the go.
Watch out!
Deadliest Catch, Wednesday 7:30 on Discovery.
Slip through here. First Bundesliga game. First Bundesliga goal. They've snatched the points right at the end.
This Ghostober.
I had nothing to do with my son's death.
Greatest fears.
Should I keep going?
Come into focus.
I don't know if I've had an experience like this.
Oh my God.
When are you more alive than when you're afraid?
Ghostober, tonight 10:25 on TLC.
You can find all our local news, sports, and entertainment on the TV1 Extra page on our website. TV1 Extra gives you access to Scope, Hunters, and Digital ExxonMobil Cup highlights and many more. Just one click to access. Stay updated, stay entertained. TV1 Online, just one click away.
Thanks for staying with us. Partnership and looking to the future are key themes as defense ministers from across the South Pacific discuss regional security challenges in Auckland today. The South Pacific Defense Ministers meeting brings together defense ministers, chiefs of defense, and secretaries of defense from Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Fiji, France, New Caledonia, Tonga, and Chile. New Zealand says collaboration through the dialogue continues to be an important component of its defense relationship with its closest neighbors, and that defense is a strong supporter of the Pacific in disaster relief, leadership and technical training, and regular talks on regional defense matters. Australia is recovering from a devastating outbreak of avian influenza, but the worst is yet to come. Experts say it's only a matter of time until a strain already wreaking havoc overseas lands on our shores.
3 million chickens are buried in this field in Meredith.
It's just stopped everything and been absolutely devastating for us.
Australia is now recovering from its worst ever avian influenza outbreak, killing about 2 million birds, causing egg shortages, costing farmers tens of millions of dollars and dozens, if not hundreds, of jobs.
We went from, big revenue business, turnover, employing 40 or 50 staff to nothing.
But many are worried something much worse is on the horizon. Avian influenza has dozens of strains. Those less likely to cause death and disease are low pathogenicity, while the deadliest are high. Australia's 2024 outbreaks were caused by high pathogenicity H7 strains, but the deadliest form of the virus is H5N1, which has rapidly spread across the globe since 2020, particularly via migrating wild birds. It has killed hundreds of millions of birds and spilled over into other species.
Australia is the last large continental landmass that has not had an incursion of H5N1. It's a matter of when it turns up, not if it turns up.
The CSIRO's Australian Centre for Disease Preparedness is at the front line of readying the country for H5N1. Here, scientists are studying and tracking the deadly strain.
This virus is a game changer. So everything that we thought about it, it's just changing. So it's doing unusual things and we need to be prepared for it.
While avian influenza can kill humans, it is not considered a major risk. Instead, H5N1 could cause ecological disaster, threatening to wipe out local populations of some animals, such as black swans, seals, sea lions and penguins.
It's a big deal. I mean, as we've seen from overseas, we've had millions and millions of birds killed. It's also now spreading in mammals. It's causing a lot of issues there. And so we can assume something similar might happen in Australia.
And for chicken growers, the risk of economic damage is high, along with potential egg and chicken meat shortages in a country where the average person consumes 15 kilograms of eggs and 50 kilograms of chicken meat annually.
We can't stop migrating birds, and if it gets to Australia, it's most likely to come through migrating birds. What we need to do is we need to pick up any incursion if it happens really quickly, and then we need to respond quickly.
With this outbreak now hopefully behind us, all eyes turn to the skies, in the hopes that this spring's migration doesn't bring H5N1 to our shores. But experts warn it's a matter of when, not if, this strain of avian influenza makes its way to Australia.
The Solomon Islands believe the Paris Agreement is failing humanity and the world needs a stronger legally binding framework on climate change. The Paris Agreement is an international treaty on climate change signed in 2016 that covers climate change mitigation, adaptation and finance. The SI delegation to the 79th United Nations General Assembly told the UNGA debates that climate change is more than a threat. It is a crisis in the Pacific. They say the G20 is responsible for 80% of global emissions. Therefore, the group must take a stronger leadership role in the fight against climate change. Qatar Airways will buy a 25% stake in Virgin Australia after an agreement was reached between the two airlines. Under the proposed deal, Virgin Australia plans to launch flights from Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, Sydney to Doha. The deal will need approval from the Foreign Investment Review Board and the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission.
Virgin is currently owned privately by Bain Capital. They bought the airline when it collapsed during the pandemic several years ago. So now Qatar Airways is proposing to buy a 25% stake in Virgin. If approved, this would mean flights from Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth and Sydney to Doha. That would essentially open up direct Australian flights to a big port that's a portway to many other international destinations. Virgin hasn't actually flown long-haul overseas flights for quite some time. Currently, I believe it's just Indonesia, Vanuatu and Fiji that it's able to access directly. So Virgin would be going into Doha via what's called a wet deal. Basically, that would be loaning planes in some way off Qatar Airways. That would get it back into longer haul flights more easily than if it had to expand itself through quite a long and expensive process. Obviously, for Qatar Airways, it also gets that airline more into Australia. Qatar Airways was actually blocked last year by the federal government from expanding more flights into Australia. It wanted to add 21 extra flights per week to Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, in addition to the 28 weekly flights that it currently offers. When that deal was denied last year, it was actually quite controversial. In fact, two former bosses of the ACCC, the consumer watchdog, came out and said that they thought that rejection of that deal was anti-competitive for Australians. So as the Treasurer has noted this morning, this deal is essentially needing to be reviewed by the Foreign Investment Review Board, and that is because it would involve Qatar Airways being involved in an Australian-owned company. Qatar Airways is actually owned by that country itself. It is worth noting that Virgin Airways has previously been owned or had stakes in it from airlines from other countries, including two airlines from China, Singapore Airlines and Etihad. So there is a history of this airline having overseas backers in it. As the Treasurer has noted, the Foreign Investment Review Board will need to make a decision, and then ultimately the veto power comes down to himself. The ACCC is also reportedly involved in this deal. The Treasurer says the ACCC hasn't yet actually received a formal notice from Virgin and Qatar about this decision.
The Australian Federal Police will investigate potential breaches of counter-terror laws at a pro-Palestine rallies after flags representing terrorist organization Hezbollah were displayed. A small number of 700-odd demonstrators in Melbourne CBD were seen with the flags. Islamic Council of Victoria President Adel Salman told the ABC yesterday Hezbollah flags are not welcome at protests.
An absolute minority of people flying those flags, and I think once the organisers realised, they were actually asked to take them down, and it was made very clear to them that they're not welcome. These Hezbollah flags are not welcome at this protest, which was about solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza.
Are you worried at all that the overall message of the protests has been tarnished by people using it?
Look, there's always that risk. People use things like this for their own purposes and to use it to smear the broader pro-Palestine campaign. But I'm hoping that most people of common sense will realise that this is an absolute minority and this wasn't a protest in support of Hezbollah in any way, shape or form, and that the protesters were not there to express any support for Hezbollah. That has to be made very clear. Protest organisers have a responsibility to do what they can do or what they need to do to ensure that there's peace at the protest, it's a peaceful protest, that all the laws are abided by, that they work in collaboration with the Victoria Police, which has happened for a year now, and to deliver the message to protesters that this is a peaceful rally, this is purely about supporting the Palestinians, it is not about supporting any other groups. And I think the protest organisers are doing what they can, and they will continue to do that to send that message out.
Does the Islamic Council take steps to discourage the use of extremist symbols in public demonstrations?
Well, we do. I mean, our message to our members and to the broader Muslim community is always that when we are protesting, we need to do so lawfully. And if people are doing things that are unlawful, whether it be flying the flag of Hezbollah or other flags that are unlawful, then clearly we discourage that and we actually ask them not to do that. But at the end of the day, people are free to do what they see fit. All we can do is educate and raise awareness. Well, I think it's the same message as we've been saying for the last 12 months of protests. The people protesting in support of the Palestinians and in support of the people of Gaza are not anti-Semitic. This is not driven by any hatred for the Jews. This is purely about support Palestinians. And I think we can assure the Australian public that there is no one, or the absolute minority of people that would be supporting Hezbollah. The vast majority of the pro-Palestine movement are supporting the Palestinians. And so I think that's a message that needs to be reinforced, I think.
A New South Wales man charged with a domestic violence murder of his wife has been refused bail. Giselle Wakatama is following the case and reports from the Newcastle local court.
Golchick stands accused of the domestic violence murder of his wife Natalie on Friday night. Police charge sheets tendered in court say that between 6 p.m. and 6:15 p.m. there was a concern for welfare. That prompted a call to police and they arrived shortly after. Now, at that point, police have said that they took Stephen Golchick into custody and he was later charged at Cessnock Police Station. The scene at the Pecolbin property the couple shared has been described as confronting, and that paramedics who had attended could not revive Natalie Golchick. So today was the appearance in court. Stephen Golchick decided to stay in the cells below the courthouse as his matter was heard. Now, he didn't apply for bail and it was formally refused, and the case was adjourned for a further 8 weeks, and that's to allow for a brief of evidence to be compiled.
And that ends our news segment for today. Tracy will join us at the sports desk after these messages.
Want more data for less? Get it now with Digicel's revamped Red Club. Enjoy data bundles from as low as 1 GB per gigabyte. Plus rollover data, the widest coverage, fastest speeds, and best reliability. Only with Red Club. Join Digicel's exclusive Red Club today and get loads more data for less. Yes! Data bundles from as low as 1 GB per gigabyte. Whoa! Join today for as low as 10 GB weekly to access discounted data bundles and get more data for less. Dial *675# or visit the My Digicel app today. The Red Club, only with Digicel.
To the second. This is what he wants, though. He's building momentum. Oh, magnificent! The Rolex Shanghai Masters.
Midfielder Aitchison rolls a little kick for Kilgun. What a picker! He's coming again. Played on. That's the breakthrough that Bangladesh was waiting for. And it's the break for the world #1.
Once again, it's the KTM first and second. Dawes, who snaps and punts her fist for Brisbane. Wood comes Kane's way. Kane in here and Brian Lee. It's Ronaldo, it's 1-0 Portugal. Yeah, and Mbappe just absolutely
Welcome back. Sunday's Port Moresby Rugby League Women's Preliminary Final saw the first fast-finishing Double Warriors girls knocking off Ohola Flies 12-4 to secure a spot in the 2024 PRL Grand Final decider. This is also a first time and history for the Warriors Club to have their women's team making it to the Grand Final. It was an intriguing physical encounter from the get-go and played in true final spirit that saw both teams giving it everything they had and keeping their fans entertained until full time.
The Double Warriors stood out in their outfit and had the upper hand over their opponents in the early exchanges. They played with a bit more structure and control through the middle, especially in attack, picking up good meters. Both sides fielded a number of representative players from the recently concluded inaugural national women's competition, the Santos Cup, with no love lost in the big confrontations. Warriors were led by Central Dabari's representative player and inspirational captain Winnie Kasari, who was up against her own Dabari's franchise coach, Kathy Knapp, this time skippering the Ohola girls, unfortunately fell short of advancing to the Big One. The young Warriors forward pack displayed a lot of flair and energy in the attack and were equally strong and aggressive in defense, forcing Flies into errors. Front rowers Ruth David and Joseph Sewell led well from the front with some quality runs that got Flies' defensive line backtracking on numerous occasions. Flies, however, had some momentum early with the ball in hand that saw outside centre Esther Aram draw first blood 4-0 before Warriors replied with a converted try from their number 9 Elsie Piers to take the lead into half-time 6-4. Second half turned out to be a dogfight with both sides using their big guns to execute their set plays, but the fatigue factor also played its part with a comedy of errors. However, Warriors, being the stronger side, stayed in the grind before fullback Vanessa Kwai weaved her way through the defense to score, making it a 12-4 ball game at full time. A jubilant Warriors captain Winnie Kasari was over the moon, saying the girls really prepared well for the game and it paid off.
No, I'm standing to talk. Nice game we play. Through the training, now we play game na one ball win, na one ball lose na on behalf of Double Girls. Mila to thank you coach don't play, trainer don't play, TM. Ogata na mila once again players don't play. Nice game. Mila to thank you fullback don't play. Talk blame, talk, sin out, come back and see line. Through sin out them to talk blame. I'm defense don't play, I'm strong. To watch the gap. Mila to thank you once again fullback don't play.
Coach George Karukuru had nothing but praise for his girls for their outstanding performance and the resilience they showed to stay in the game till the end.
I can't say much here, but I can congratulate them for all the efforts. It's all discipline, goes back to discipline and respect for one another. And they've followed the instructions. That's the reason why we came up with a win. Basically, our defensive is going to be our effort. We need to maintain that, and also our ball rolling into the back line. That's what we need to polish up on, and our kicking game. Otherwise, basically, we'll just take it as it comes.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Autonomy Sevens Cup tournament concluded successfully Sunday at the KVN Courthouse Oval. The tournament, funded by the NIP provincial government, costing 50,000 kina and supporting sponsors, including TWL and Capital Rugby Union, apart from New Ireland Rugby Union. This is the second Autonomy Cup and in line with the NIRU's confirmed efforts to create a central avenue for the best in the code to showcase in the province.
Town Reds men's team proved too strong for around 24-0 in the grand final of the second edition of the Autonomous Sevens Cup on Sunday. Reds were crowned cup champions with a major cash prize of 5,000 kina, while runners-up Auran got 4,000. Player of the tournament was Augustin Andras from Reds. In the men's plate final, Physical defeated Force City 15-14, taking out the cash prize of $3,000 and $2,000 respectively. In the bowls, Corners beat Mangai 14-10 with cash incentives of $1,000 and $800 kina respectively. In the women's grand final, Lux Bay too strong for Kopkop 12-0 and received $1,000, while runners-up got $800 kina. In the third and fourth playoff, Snappers 19 beat Fundas 10 with cash monies of $600 and $500 respectively. New Ireland Rugby Union President Charles Melachon congratulated the winners and individual awardees for their hard work and dedication that have truly paid off. Melachon also acknowledged all the teams who registered and participated with such enthusiasm and sportsmanship. In his closing remarks, the President expressed immense pride and gratitude to everyone, the participating teams and major stakeholders such as the New Ireland Provincial Government through the leadership of Sir Julius Chan, who continues to believe in their aspirations, and supporting partners Total Waste Management and Capital Rugby Union under the leadership of CEO and President Corey Chan for their unwavering support and have been instrumental in making this event a great success. The theme of the autonomy is close to our hearts, and rugby plays a significant role in promoting this agenda. Melachon said such commitment has enabled New Ireland Rugby to facilitate such tournaments to ensure the stakeholders and players alike have the opportunity to showcase their skills. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Lista Lecchen Lam has sung the praises of teammate and fellow Papua New Guinean international Edwin Ipape following the Hookers Man of the Match display in the Leopards' playoff win at Salford Red Devils. Kumul Lam and Ipape have now lined up alongside one another 54 times in a league set, both joining the then Centurions in 2022 and helping to fire the club to promotion.
Lifting the Challenge Cup under the Wembley Arch in August 2023, they've also starred 6 times together for PNG on the international front, winning the inaugural Pacific Bowl together last year. Friday night saw the duo write more history together, with Ipape starring as the Leopard beat Salford 14-6 away from home to book a spot in the Super League playoff semi-finals, who they could yet face in a last 4 tie next weekend. The Lighters have Ipape to thank en masse for their semi-final spot with a Papua New Guinean hooker, teeing up Gareth O'Brien's try in the second half on Friday night after a trademark burst forward through a tackle and then scoring a try of his own. It's the second week in a row that the 25-year-old has taken home the Sky's Man of the Match medal, and speaking to the broadcaster's post-match, teammate and fellow countryman Lam praised the Mount Hagen native. The halfback, who was born in Australia but represents the Kumuls through his father, Lee head coach Adrian Lam. Ipape has been a national hero for a long time in Papua New Guinea. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
It was a great ending to the Madang Town Basketball Association's 2024 season proper. Stars Club proved their supremacy by winning 3 matches in the 4 divisions, sealing a remarkable session at the Leeuwarden Basketball Court on Sunday. Susan Oriape with this report.
The games played in 4 divisions all went neck to neck, with each team returning a basket for every opponent's point scored, creating a hyped-up environment for the fans and supporters. The Leeuwarden Basketball Court was on fire, with teams showcasing classic talents throughout each game, as the best of the best clashed for the grand final win. In the women's big grade, Stars won by 3 baskets over Kake, 29 points to 26. In the men's big grade, again, Stars claimed victory in another close game, outplaying Kake 35 points to 33. In the women's A grade division, Celtic maids were crowned the queens of Medang basketball after outshining Stars in a 52-42 scoreline victory. The highlight of the day was the showdown of the men's A-grade final between Mavericks and Stars. Players gave it their best with fast breaks, three-pointers and every defense mechanism applied. As the scoreline varied mostly by a basket, however, the Stars shone again in a close contest, winning by a point, 46-45. Awards were given straight after the games, with the best 3 teams from the 4 divisions awarded. The Medang Town Basketball Association season 2024 was an achievement after years of no play.
When I knew the season was on, we didn't have any courts, so I found a sponsor, a very generous sponsor, who sponsored our new courts, and we got it built, and we got the season going quite quickly. It's been amazing. The turnout's been huge. The committee and I are really excited about next year to make it even bigger and better, and hopefully we get some more corporate sponsors in, and we can make this a really good thing for the community.
Association President Gary Leeds was grateful and excited that the season ended well this year with no incidents. He's hoping next year to be bigger and better, and is looking forward to seeing many raw talents on the courts.
I really want to get in touch with the PNG Basketball Federation and then get some support on the ground to train our officials and just keep up to the standard that it should be. And everyone's really supportive, and it's really great to see the younger generation getting into this in a big way. So we look forward to next year's season.
In terms of sponsorship, they managed to secure trophies from No. 1 Trophy House, other prizes from Ella Enterprises, Castles, Rotary Club and Medang Butchery to ensure that winning teams and individuals were recognized for their efforts in this season. Susan Oriape, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports, and now the weather focused with Jasmine.
Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy with inland showers and possible thunderstorm. Daru partly cloudy, Kerma some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Alotau partly cloudy with possible patchy rain at times. And Popondetta partly cloudy with chances of few rain showers in the afternoon. Mumase, Ley mostly cloudy with chances of some rain showers in the afternoon. Medang mostly fine, partly cloudy. Wewak partly cloudy with chances of some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. And Vanimo partly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with some rain showers, Kavieng, Kokoporo, Baul and Kimbe partly cloudy, and Buka brief rain and drizzles. Highlands, all highland centers cloudy with some afternoon showers and possible thunderstorm. Ocean forecast, Coral seas moderate to rough with southeast winds of 15 to 33 knots. Solomon seas slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, and Pacific Ocean slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, to Kerma to Yule Island, to Hood Point to Samurai Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 meters. Waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milimbe Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Horn Gulf to Fincherfen, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Fincherfen through Vitia Strait to CRC Long Island, waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Ireland to East New Britain to Bougainville, seas 1.5 to 3 meters. Waters of Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of West New Britain, seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Bye now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.